start, and Oregon really shot extremely well in the first half. So give them credit. They came out and seemed like they made every jump shot and every floater that they took for the first 10 minutes, and it continued. So and they finished the half strong. I mean, there was 2 threes at the end. So being down that much at halftime is tough to overcome. We had our chances in the second half. Every time we had a chance to cut it, Chavez, when he got fouled, would have cut it to 7. They didn't call it goaltending, and he missed a free throw. And we missed a layup, missed a wide open 3. We turned the ball over in transition, and then we missed another easy shot. Isaiah missed that 3-foot floater, or a little jump hook in the out of bounds play. So every time we had a chance to cut it to 7 or 6 or 8, we just didn't do it. And Oregon outplayed us tonight. Give them credit.
And is this another instance of just kind of a lack of sharpness, not having that practice time?
Well, yeah, the lack of practice time has hurt us because of the COVID pause, but our players have to play as hard as they can and figure it out. But in the first half, we made a couple of defensive mistakes, but Oregon was playing so well, they're hard to guard because everybody can create for themselves, and they were hitting step-back shots and getting in the lane and making plays for their teammates. So I thought they played a very high level of offense in the first half, and then second half we played better and a little harder, and we started to put pressure on their defense, and we outscored them in the second half. But when you're down 16 at halftime, it's not easy against a quality team like this.
And you only had one player shoot more than double-digit shots. I think you had Boogie with 21. Mobley came closest with 9. Was there some hesitancy out there?
Well, I think I always tell our guys, if you're open, shoot it. And so it wasn't planned like that, it just happened. Boogie was off to a good start, but going 7 for 21, I think he got tired. I probably played him too many minutes. He needs to be a little more efficient than 7 for 21.
What is your level of concern now with the way the team has played since they came back from that pause?
Well, we have to get some practice time in. The nice thing is we'll have 3 days of practice before we go again. We have to get back to some of our basic defensive drills that we do and schemes, and then also offensively get a better flow. At times we look really good, and other times we look a little like we've been on a pause. But once again, there's no excuse for that because you just have to go compete.
What specifically are you going to focus on in those practices?
Well, we have certain things we do every day, or most days in practice, that we haven't been able to do just because lack of practice. Even this, when you have 3 games in 5 days, we walked through yesterday and walked through on Wednesday. So those aren't practices. So we need to have hard practices and get back to some of the basic concepts that we were pretty good at before.
How much did Dante really affect things kind of in the paint?
Well, he's a big man and very skilled around the basket. He's physical and he has long arms, so he's tough to guard. He did his part tonight, and their guards really hurt us. So.
The second game in a row, the team had single-digit points in the paint in the first half. Why do you think that is?
Well, I know Chavez got off to a little slow start, and he's been so good in the paint. And our guards get in the lane a few times, but I thought the second half we were more aggressive, driving the ball and getting to the rim, and we made good decisions in the second half. First half, we just didn't have it.
You guys coughed the ball 8 times in the first half. How do you explain that?
Well, it was a lack of offensive toughness, where when we drove, they knocked the ball away quite a few times. We had the ball in the lane, they would reach and strip the ball from us. And one time in the perimeter, I think we put the ball over our head and they just took it from us. So those are the type of possessions that we'll look at on video, and we just have to improve.
Normally you rely on your defense. The transition defense tonight, were you satisfied with that? They had 15 fast break points to 3 for you guys.
Well, that's because we had 8 turnovers in the first half, and a lot of that was in the first half. When you have live ball turnovers, it's hard to get back in transition when they have an advantage. And a couple of those, their guards made some great moves to the rim, So yeah, I don't like to give up 15 transition points, but when you turn the ball over 8 times in one half, that happens.
What's the mood in the locker room right now? Is it like, is it like
No, it's, we played much harder and better in the second half, and after a game like this, it's not the time to try to point fingers at anybody, whether it's coaching staff pointing things out or teammates pointing things out. This is a team effort. We lost as a team, and then we'll revisit this on Monday and get better.
On a positive note, I understand this is the first time you've ever done this. You added Chavez as a team captain. This was a staff decision. This wasn't a team decision.
That was a staff decision.
You want to talk about that? 'Cause
Yeah, Chavez for a year and a half has led by example every day in practice, every game. He plays hard every possession, and I thought the other night when he had 9 offensive rebounds and just the grit to help us come back and the toughness and he encourages his teammates. And he's one of the he's not a big vocal guy. He just leads by example, and I think we all appreciate that. And he plays like a team captain, and he leads us in the weight room. He leads us on the court, and we thought it'd be appropriate for the last half of the season to make him a team captain because he deserves it.
Oh, one more?
Lucas had a strong game Thursday, and then Will Richardson did well in the backcourt too. What's the message, I guess, just to your backcourt when you have games where guys kind of blow up?
Well, they're good players. They're good players, and they both made shots, and they Richardson went 4 for 4 in the first half from the 3-point line. And the other night, Lucas was when a really good shooter, really good player sees a few go in, they get some confidence, and it's hard to stop them. And some of the shots Richardson made tonight were pulled up in transition. It was a 10-point game in the second half. He pulled up on the fast break and made a 3. And first half, he had a step back from 24 feet. And so when good players get going, they're hard to stop. And at this level, at the NBA level, there's some really talented players out there, and we faced 2 of them.
Thanks, Andy.